Wahey! Hello, 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 everyone. You may notice I'm dressed a bit nicer than usual, and well, oh, hello, Neo. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. And well, that's because, well, it's July. It's my birth month, so I'm dressing extra fancy for that because reasons. So yeah, and because it's July again, I always tend to replay Super Mario Bros. 3 whenever July rolls around. So that's what we're doing today. You know what? Enough talking. Okay, Super Mario Bros. 3, go. Okay, annoyingly, I pressed the wrong finger. Gaming birthday can be a bit weird for presents. I see. How come? Anyway, yeah, I'm just letting this title screen cinematic play out because, well, yeah. Also, you may notice there's no music. That's because this is the NES version, which actually has no music on the title screen. Only the original does, because it's a single month to Christmas. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So if you don't know what this game is, why? Um. Anyway, it's your typical 2D Mario platformer. You pick up items, you defeat enemies, you clear the level. Pretty simple. Oh, in this game also introduced the Super Leaf, which lets you fly. With the platform, move right, get into the. Yep, exactly. That's basically the how this works here, and how it has worked for like several years after that. Oh right, I have to get used to the fact that mushrooms slide in in the opposite direction of the side you hit the block on, which is really weird. But I'm kinda impressed they somehow managed to program that in. I am not doing very good. I want to reach the secret room, damn it. Okay, I want to try one more time. Okay, so first let's fly out. There we go. Okay, so if you go this way, there's a pipe, and you can enter it. But brings you to a bonus room with coins shaped like a tree. Because this game really wanted you to know it's Super Mario Bros. 3, so that's why. I decided that's the reason. To be fair though, I feel like it's not actually something unique to this game. I feel like other Mario games did the same thing. Anyway, that's the first level done, and I got a star. Okay, so you get a card at the end of the level. If you have 3 matching ones, you get a certain number of extra lives. If you get like either one that's different, you only get 1 life. I've played this game a lot, and I would say I'm incredibly good at it. Although I probably shouldn't boast because that's when things start to generally go wrong. Okay, take me up here, please. Pipe. And there's another bonus room with coins. Yay! Oh look, I have 69 coins. Nice. So why the NES version, not the All-Stars version? Well, this is the version I grew up with, so I feel it's... Considering it's the very first video game I played, I feel like it's more important to play this version. I don't think that's weird at all. And there we go. Usually if you run and you jump at the goal at a perfect 45-degree angle, you usually get a star because that's what you'll end up on, you know, when it spawns in, if you do it that way. So yeah. Boing. Okay, let's jump here and whee! Yeah, some levels of these hidden coin heavens. The first time I played it was the GBA version. Ah, cool. Yeah, which is kinda more or less based on the SNES version. I played the SNES version once, and I'm not gonna lie, it just doesn't hit the same, man. I know, I kind of just really like the original visuals and sound effects and that kind of shit. So yeah. Now, if you duck on this platform and you run past the black background at the goal, you will actually be able to obtain a warp whistle. I'm planning to do every world, so I'm not going to be doing that. Instead, let's get 5 extra lives.
Wahey!
Nice. This also brings us to a toad house. Pick a box, its contents will help you on your way. I remember when Mum always used to pick these out, because she always was like, yeah, I know exactly where the good items are, and, well, it's completely randomized. Although some of the toad houses have guaranteed items. For example, the first one in World 3 always has a frog suit. Also, yeah, this game also introduced auto-scroll levels. But these are levels where the screen moves on its own. Not sure why I'm explaining that, but pretty much everyone knows what an auto-scroll level is, because people seem to really hate them. And I can kind of see why. They always move at like the same speed. You can't exactly speed run them. And if you stay too close to one of the edges, it could go very, very wrong. It can get quite annoying. Oopsie. You die, thank you. And damage. I go back to the GBA version, so just for the year level, you can have later as a kid. Well, not back for one. Please know what I never did never saw it. Even though it existed when you used it. Oh yeah, true. I learned about it way later. It's really nice they have eventually add those to the GBA Nintendo Classics thing on the Switch and Switch 2. Oh look, it's a fireflower wearing a mushroom head with wearing a bow tie. Fascinating. And I think the Virtual Console version on Wii U also had the e-reader levels included in it. Which was really cool to see, at least. Which was also the first time Europe got the e-reader levels. Okay, so now if you go up, you'll get yourself another warp whistle, but once again, I'm not using warp whistles. Why would I use warp whistles? I'm too good for that. Move faster, please. It's just me or the tiles look a little cut off. And hee. Also, this door is for some reason a bit more towards the left in the Japanese version. There's some really weird differences in this game's Japanese version. For example, if you get hit, even if you have a power-up different, like a better power-up than a mushroom, you'll shrink down to small. And the screen transition, which you always see whenever you enter a level, this black box-shaped one, this one, it reverses when you start a level, interestingly. Okay, so my mom tends to be good at these, not me, however, I'm not my mom. But yeah, she tends to really know where all of the items are, usually. She can pretty quickly figure out which layout it is. Also, Hambros, they appear on the map sometimes. Sometimes they are different enemies, but in this version they always look like Hambros. Yeah, it was never released in Europe, though. To be fair, it's not like many people do it even released in North America. True, I heard it was a commercial failure. Despite the fact that WarioWare Mega Party games for some reason included a game mode which featured the e-reader in it. Speaking of WarioWare Inc. Mega Party game for GameCube, I actually saw some videos of that, and it looks like it's... If you have friends to play with, it looks like it's really fun and can get really hectic. For example, there's like a typical survival mode which is like 3 strikes and you're out, so you have to win the most micro games. Like, you have to be the last one standing to win. Or there's this balloon burst-esque one where you have to win a micro game in order to escape the TV, and if you're inside of the TV while it explodes, while the balloon explodes, you lose. While the other players pump up the balloon with button mashing. Really hectic stuff. But yeah, for the e-reader actually cameos in 9-volt game mode in that. Where you have to collect cards and have the most of them to win or something. Whee! Okay, this block will contain another super leaf as long as we're at least big, so... If there's any game I've ever mastered in my life, it's this one. I know a lot of things from the top of my head. Emphasis on a lot, not everything. I also know these... also these songs tend to really get stuck in my head. I know them so well because I played it back as a kid, when I was still a little dolphin playing on Dad's NES. Which is somewhere in the attic of the house now. Anyway, another Toad house. You can spawn the right with true. If you complete certain levels with certain amounts of coins, you'll get the hammer bro on the map will turn into a white mushroom house, and you'll get a rare item there, which depends on the world. It'll be a P-wing if it's worlds 1, 3, 5, and 7, and then you get an anchor if it's worlds 3, 4, or 6. Yeah, Bradfort. Yeah, same thing in 2-2, indeed. And oh dear, the king has been transformed, although into a dog, which I would say is an improvement because dogs are cute. Anyway, first airship level. So each world, except for the last, ends with one of these, and you'll fight a boss at the end. One of the Cooperlings, which were first introduced in this game. The Cooperlings have kinda taken the backseat as of late, it seems. Like, they don't seem to show up as much as they used to. Like, they're absent from Mario Kart World, interestingly. Oh, the Jarts are good to see you again. Hello. Yeah. So, airship levels. Expect a lot of cannonballs and bullet bill. As well as burners in the later levels. The bosses will also tend to vary in difficulty. Larry here is quite simple, you just have to jump on him and avoid his projectiles. And that's it. And there we go, we covered the first one. So that's World 1 done. Not too long of a world. I mean, it's the easiest world in the game for one. But yeah. There we go. Oh, thank heavens, I'm back to my old self again. I kinda like you better as a dog. Because I like dogs, they are adorable. Anyway, letter from the princess. Greetings, if you see any ghosts, be careful, they will give chase if you turn away. Oh yeah, the boost in this game used to scare me as a kid. So that's my embarrassing story for today. So, World 2, Desert Land. Also called Desert Hill in some versions of the game. Fun fact, Desert Hills from Mario Kart DS is based on this world. Though in Mario Kart World it seems to take more inspiration from Super Mario Land, with the Toka-Tokas and Battledons and such. As well as the Angry Sun being absent from that version. Sure, gives you P when you're interesting gem, Peach. I mean, it's kind of a gem of an item because it's really good. It lets you skip a level pretty much. And by skip, I mean you can just fly, basically fly infinitely. But yeah. Some of the items she gives you really make me question the nature of whether they are actually qualifying as gems or not. Anyway, more coins. Yay. Sometimes I wonder where the hell these coins even go whenever Mario collects them. Does he just absorb them and do they all just vanish and he just gets alive every time he collects 100? Although Super Mario Odyssey seems to turn them into actual money, which you can spend in shop. So... I just got a super big wallet. Yeah, that's possible. If it wasn't for hammer space, he'd be fucked. Yeah, line, whatever. Anyway, let's fail at this again, probably. Or is it literally the same outcome as... Oh, no, he ditched the bow tie this time around. Okay, so yeah, like Darta usefully puts earlier, if you collect enough coins at this level, you actually be able to access a white mushroom house. I'm not good at collecting many coin levels. Now, interestingly, in the GBA version, if you clear the final level in the game and you return to these levels, you'll actually be able to spawn a counter that shows you how many of those coins you'll need to collect in a level in order to make one of those mushroom houses appear. They also call it blue in that version instead of white. And I'm going to see if the platform reappears if I go far enough back, and sure enough it does. Because I think one of these contains a... Yeah, I thought so. Damn it. That was so close. Oh well, let's move on. Oh, enough mushroom. Well, at least if I get enough mushroom, I'll get some more lives. No, there was not enough to turn it into a... unlock a white toad house. Anyway, yeah, this level used to scare me as a kid because I thought the boos were scary. Yeah. I don't know, back as a kid I was scared of just about anything, really. Like, they get these creepy faces when they give chase, and, well, back then I thought it was creepy, but not anymore, of course. Okay, gimme. There we go. And run. Yeah, now this room can be a bit of a doozy. Kinda wanna get on these spikes at the right moment, because it's really easy to do your item here. I swear back in the day these used to move way slower, but maybe that's just me. I prefer just going alongside the top so it's easier for me to get past. Anyway, here's Boom Boom again. I forgot to mention this guy's name is Boom Boom. Who then ended up being absent for several years before finally returning in 3D Land, was it? I think it was 3D Land. Yeah, flip, whatever. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And for some reason he also was missing his spiked shell. It was just a shell without any spikes on it in that game. Although he regained the spikes in New Super Mario Bros. U. Speaking of, a while ago I was replaying New Super Luigi U and I was trying to see how far I could get without losing a life. Spoiler alert! I lost a life at the first level by accident. Although then I kept going and I lost my first life in World 2. Also, sometimes there's just these warp pipes on the map, which you can use to move around the maps of the world. Anyway, Hammer Bro. Ow. Well, that's a shame. And would you look at that, is the music box. It's pretty much the most useless item in the game. It puts Hammer Bros to sleep. That's what it does. Let's get rid of it. Uh-oh. Ah, yeah, this level. It has fire snakes and shit. Come on. Okay, it was just a coin. Why am I wasting my time with that? Okay, there you have a star. Nifty. Okay, now, so. These brick pyramids, I'm not sure which of the two it is. I think it's this one. But somewhere inside of it you can find a P switch to turn the blocks into coins. It might be on the other one, actually. Okay, I got to be honest, I was better at remembering stuff about this game years ago. You know what, never mind. Oh, well, that was embarrassing. Let's just go, we're no use wasting my time. Because besides, if I find a piece which by that point there's a lot of coins I've missed out on already, so yeah. Oh, jeez, it's so bloody hot today. Like, I just didn't have the energy to do anything at all today. Oh, boo. I slowed down for it and I still missed it. Oh well, at least we still get an extra life for it. Okay, so it's a quicksand pit. Let's go in. And meet one of the enemies in this game that actually gave nightmares to people back in the day. So meet the angry sun. At some point throughout the level, it'll start. Come on. At some point of the level, it starts attacking you. Like here. It'll swoop around and it'll try to ram into you. Come on. So yeah, that angry guy is definitely some kind of ray of sunshine, huh? Anyway. I'm picking the middle one. Well, it sure is a good thing I was missing, you know. I was missing my big size already anyway, so... Let's go. Oh yeah, it's this level. This level for some reason has a top layer and a bottom layer. Which is a really cool idea. I do like the level design in this game, quite a... Gee, thanks game. Not to worry, I can still salvage this. Okay, there we go. So. We can fly up here and we will be able to find something else. Well, that's certainly a sentence by Mr. Bottlenose. And there's a lot of coins in this bit of the level. And I do mean a lot. Now, this is what I always like to do here. Screw jumping, I can just fly into them. More coins for me. I remember here at least that this one contains the P-switch. Yep. And that turns these into coins, unsurprisingly. There we go. Or as Sophist from Party Questions would say, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. You can tell I've been watching I've been watching them. I've been a bit of a Mario Party kick as of late. I need to play more Mario Party on stream with friends at some point. If only I could find the time. Oh, yes, please. Yeah, man, it's been forever. We really need to play. Although I'm not sure if... Here's the thing. Wednesday, in 2 weeks' time, is on my birthday, the 16th. Although it's a Wednesday stream, so this time slot. And I'm not entirely sure if everyone will be accessible at that time. Like, Vanga will probably tell me it's way too early in the morning for him to get frustrated at a video game. Also, Gary Truck Suit, thank you. Yeah, I know Neos is here, usually, around this time. Otherwise, I'm just not sure who else I could ask. Also, Fire Bros, my favorite variety of the bro enemies. Okay, I'm picking up this warp whistle, I'm not going to use it, but I'm picking it up simply because I want to beat the Fire Bros there. Anyway, another level. Oh, also this game introduced chain jumps, by the way. Also, yeah, you didn't. If you didn't get the full power up, if you got hit while it was there. Older games and their limitations. But yeah, this game introduced chain jumps, and people found it terrifying, of course. And also, if they yank on that chains 100 times, they'll actually break loose. That's something I learned several years later. And it's actually carried over into the Super Mario Maker games. So that's interesting. I wonder, will Jamboree TV expect exclusive Switch 2? Yeah, series Jamboree TV which to play Switch 1 based on it's not the Switch 2 exclusive mode. From what I've heard, yes, you can. Like they said that, like Nintendo has actually apparently gone out of the way to be like, yes, you can play with Switch 1 owners even on the Switch 2 versions of games. Also, yeah, another limitation, which for some reason was carried over to the All-Stars version. If a brick block with an item inside gets turned into a coin by its P-switch, well, if its P-switch becomes active, it'll turn into a coin for some reason. I couldn't grab that. But it'll still work like a solid brick block. Really weird. Because it would be stupid. It would be, yes. That would be like the one reason for me to not upgrade. And upgrading does actually add some pretty cool things. Even for party mode, so yeah. For example, there's this new frenzy mode in which everyone starts with like a number of coins and a star or two. And they have 5 turns to try and win with that. And there's also a team mode where you play in teams of 2. Which also adds a new kind of dice block which summons your partner and you roll together. By your partner, I mean the player you teamed up with. Oh, it became Mushroom with teeth. Wonderful. Like, I'm not really interested in the microphone or camera minigame thingies. Or the mouse ones, for that matter. But, yeah. When you can't become to Switch 1 for it? Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything about that. But I do know the Nintendo Switch 2 edition will have some new stuff for party mode. I'm just not sure if it'll also be in the Switch 1 version. Would be cool if it was, but yeah. Oh, hey Thomas. Hello. Break these. Oop. Yep. Oh, damn it. Yeah, don't grab too many coins, I won't be able to grab the rest of the coins that are still coins. Yeah, fine with Jamboree TV being the only Switch 2 exclusive thing, but alas. I'm going to be honest though, I do want the Switch 2 versions to, like, you know, have ample content to, you know, be worth the upgrade. Otherwise I would just stick to the Switch 1 version anyway. Which, by the way, you can still play the Switch 1 versions of games on Switch 2. So don't worry about that. It's not like the original Breath of the Wild will not work on the Switch 2 or anything. So yes, depending on the game, it might be better to buy the Switch 1 version instead of the Switch 2 one to save a little bit of money and to, like, not really miss out on anything. So yeah. For example, I don't really care about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond's mouse controls. So yeah, I would probably just get the Switch 1 version unless something major gets added to the Switch 2 version. At least that's my train of thought on the matter. I mean, I would hope so. Sony did the same thing with nearly all PS4 games having compatibility with PS5. Yeah, I mean, if it helps, Super Mario Party Jamboree runs on my Switch 2, so yeah. In fact, even though it's not a Switch 2 edition, because that's not out yet, it does show the Switch 2 Joy-Con straps on the explanation screen for that, instead of the Switch 1 ones, so yeah. They did slightly alter some things for the Switch 2. And there's also a thing on the title screen where you can press the plus button on your controller to open a window about the Switch 2 edition, and it also has a button that'll take you to the eShop. So yeah. But yeah, Nintendo did go out of the way to like make those things clear. They may be a bit greedy, but they're not that greedy. I know everyone's complaining about Nintendo being greedy, but to be honest, they've always been. To a degree, in certain situations. Anyway, Morton, he's pretty much identical to Larry, except the arena is a bit different. And there we go. That's World 2 cleared.
Wahey!
So that's nice. I mean, they don't do the same thing as Sony's been doing since 2020, but the PS4 to PS5, but true. And while I do think the price increase is a bit nuts for the games, I did expect the console itself to be more expensive than the Switch one. Greetings, at some point here, enemies using Goomba Shoe. Remember this, this will become relevant in a later world. Also, fun fact, in older revisions of this game, they actually forgot to translate that Karibo Shoe to Goomba Shoe, so they used the Japanese name. Anyway, water level, I feel like using the frog suit. Let's show that off. So the frog suit makes it really easy to swim around. You just have to hold the jump button. Which on an NES controller is the A button, but it might vary if you're playing like a Virtual Console or anything like that. I think that's also just an item again. Yeah, it lets you swim around really fast. It also just looks really stinking cute, although it's useless on land. You can't walk, you just jump. There we go, star. But yeah, it's a really interesting power-up, and it hadn't ever returned until Super Mario Maker 2, and doing a post-launch update. I was expecting the bump to 70 USD and for the customer friend, so I'm not really mad. Yeah, $10 for the Switch to Welcome to is weird. That's certainly a choice. And not exactly a good one either. Not to mention you can't even play the entirety of the Welcome Tour if you are missing certain accessories. Like, don't have a Switch 2 camera, you cannot do the camera things. Don't have a 4K TV, you can't do the 4K TV thingy. It's really weird. So yeah. And there we go. 5 extra lives for me. I still for a 2 dB micro specialty got admit. Oh yeah! I have a screen packet when I watch it, and yep, my TV is 1080p, no 4K stuff. Likewise, I only have a 1080p TV, which I'm glad about. I'm glad it still supports 1080p, even 720p, in fact. Because it would have really sucked if I also had to upgrade my TV to play on a new console. No, that would be weird. Oh, I forgot to go over that new item I got, right? So this is a Lucky to Cloud. It lets you skip a level on the map. However, should you lose life in the next level you skipped to, you will also be sent back to the previous level you cleared. Meaning you have to play the level you try to skip anyway. I might just occasionally use it just to get rid of it, but I will still play every level. Oh, slow down. Yeah, keep in mind this is an NES game. There was slowdown when a lot of stuff was going on at once. Like, I just don't care that much about 4K to justify a brand new TV for it. Same. Also, honestly, the HDR just on Twitch 2, it just made everything look really bright and washed out, so I turned it off. Yeah, I don't really care about, like, how good the screen looks. I just want to play my games, you know? Which, by the way, right now it's really hard to just enjoy Nintendo games. Because on one hand, if you complain about Switch 2, you have fans telling you you're just a hater. But on the other hand, if you bought a Switch 2 and you're enjoying it, you're just not even defending Nintendo, you're just having fun. There's people that will be like, oh, you're a shill. Like, there's no winning with these people. I'm somewhere in between. I'm enjoying my Switch too. I'm having a good time with it. But yeah, I do. But yeah, the things I have issues with, I'm not even going to bother defending. Anyway, the first fortress of this world. So I know the trick to this one because, well, I told this story last year, but when I looked at the back in the at the notes section of the manual for 1, 2, 3, 4 for this game, my dad actually wrote a note on it, which is surprising, but nobody ever used those notes as far as I know. And it said Waterlands first castle 6th door. And sure enough, that's how you complete this level. Also, this Boom Boom will fly if you let him. Then B60 if you have locked is a perfect sweet spot for me if possible. Yeah, true. Like, some people deride the remake of Thousand Year Door just because the FPS is locked at 30. But like, I didn't care, I was just happy I could finally play Thousand Year Door. So yeah. Anything in these bricks? Although to be fair, it was impressive that the GameCube was able to run it at 60 FPS. That was really cool. I'm not liking it for doing things like the fact that Switch 2 owners are now getting banned just for changing usernames. That was apparently a hoax, from what I heard. Because people asked the guy if he used one of those MIG flash thingies, and he didn't respond to that. Now, there was a funny story about it, because the guy did actually go to the customer service, and they had to laugh because of the username in question. They thought the situation was kind of ridiculous. But they had to unfortunately tell him, yeah, you'll just have to buy a new system. Which is unfortunate and really expensive. And for a dolphin, I sure have goldfish memory. Make sure it does, I will get you banned. Yeah, it will, yeah. I don't use those myself. But yeah, it sucks for the people that use them to make like legit backups of games. Which is also the reason why when I took my Switch 2 to the multimedia place I go to, I told them only I am touching my Switch 2. And I told them, if I find anyone has touched my Switch 2 and I can't go online anymore, I'll call the authorities, not for you, but for me. I'm not going to finish my train of thought there, because you fill in the blanks. So we did play GTY and low speed, it takes like at least totally manageable time. Like half an hour, it was fun. Okay, yeah, that's good. But yeah, I just had fun playing the game, you know. Which, by the way, I need to replay that someday. I'm pretty sure it is still my favorite Paper Mario game now, so yeah. Okay, let me get rid of this cloud. There. Let's go! So, why not skip levels? Well, to go with this tradition, it's also a tradition for me to 100% this game whenever I play it, so yeah. Did touch a decent when I didn't even need an adjustment period. True. I mean, there's more to it just than, you know, just the FPS drop. Like all of the quality of life fixes that mitigate backtracking. Which was also probably the reason I was more amused by Admiral White than frustrated with him. Because I was able to just, you know, jump from world to world through this big warp room. Everyone else who played the GameCube version were in for a rough time with the backtracking. Although my issue with the backtracking is I feel like the snowy area was really small and short as a result. Like there were only 2 rooms and the town, I think. Then why DC do not know the thing? Something tells me I am glad not to know the thing. Oh, speaking of, then there's this trouble board thing, right? Where you have to chase him around again. And I was like, oh boy, I wonder how Neo's reacted to that. Sorry, man. Anyway, let's go this way. Got a few toad houses and more spade minigames to fail. So yeah. Another frog suit. It's like the travel buff is deliberately chose to take as much time as possible to piss you off in the ocean. Yeah. Probably. Nintendo seems to really love their weird and awkward long side quests sometimes. Sometimes even main quests, like in the case of Admiral White. Or General White, I forgot what his name is. Why can't I seem to win these? For example, there's like this trading side quest in whatchamacallit, in Super Paper Mario, which I think is to unlock Piccolo, that music note pixel. And you have to like talk to various NPCs, but every time you talk to the one you need something from, they need something from someone else. And by the time you get to Mr. Watch It, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. Not again." So yeah, devs absolutely know what they are doing in those cases, and they are grinning behind the screen. Now to register 2 Pokemon Blue, Red X and Fire Twitch and Dominus 10-9. Nice! Which reminds me, RuneScape has a quest in the game called One Small Favor, which is basically like one very long, awkward trading side quest, like from start to finish. It's like one of the least popular quests in the game. But did I Gen 9 Dex done with the plus DLC? Nice! Like, why isn't this break? Huh? Well, that was weird. The break block wasn't breaking, despite me jumping into it. I think it was a glitch. I've never seen that glitch before. I swear, every time I replay this game, I seem to discover something new. Guys, if I Raging Bolts, register mine. Ah, noise. And then you're pretty close, yeah. I actually had to replay on a second ID to get a second Gouging Fire and Raging Bolt to trade for Iron Boulder and Iron Crown. They are all safely in my Pokemon home now. It's a full, complete living dex. And I prefer not to touch my Pokemon that are in it, just to be safe. Oh, that reminds me though, one thing I do think is unfortunate. Someone had a major glitch while data transferring from Switch 1 to Switch 2, where for some reason they lost all of their Pokemon Scarlet/Violet save data and all of the Pokemon that were on it. Yeah, yikes. So a recommendation when you transfer is to first transfer all of your Pokemon to Pokemon Home before you actually do the transfer. That's what paying respects. Yeah. Even the Switch 2 haters and Nintendo haters felt really bad for that person. They just couldn't even have the heart to laugh at their misfortune, despite laughing at everyone else's misfortunes over the systems breaking or anything. They were like, okay, no, that just really sucks. But yeah, it was really unfortunate for them. I forgot to transfer to Pokemon Home on my system before I transferred everything, but thankfully everything was still intact. But I must say though, Pokemon Scarlet running at 60 FPS, even at the likes of places like Castle Royale, Lake and Tag Tree Thicket, is really nuts. It feels like a fever dream. Like, it just doesn't feel right. And that is the amount of Pokemon that appear and from that big a distance. It really took some getting used to. I felt like I was getting whiplash. But yeah. I will look for now. Okay. I think there was an invisible block there, but no, I think there was in my SMBX custom episode where I created a level similar to this one and I hit a mushroom, like a 1-up mushroom to the side there. Also, yeah, a little oddity about this game. Green enemies tend to turn blue in castle levels due to the color palettes they use. Well, not all of the castle levels, mind. Also, stretch boos. They don't appear that much, but they did appear again in they did appear again, interestingly, in Super Mario Maker 2. I think even in Super Mario Maker 1. No, I'll be passing all my Pokemon home and transfer all my data via PC for transferring those. Okay, fair. That seems like a good way to go about it. Oh look, it's the end spade again. Money! No, that's 10 coins. And cleared. Yeah, item slots will really fill up from that though. I don't know the timing for this, and something tells me this is just completely rigged. Oh, I haven't talked about this guy. So this is Bog Boss. He's a massive cheap that's able to eat you if you're not careful. Drop into the water and stay in there for too long and chances are he'll just eat you right up. There's also a variant of it which I think is called Big Bertha, which lets you spit out a small cheap and it swims around in water levels instead. Now, boss bass can be taken out by Firebolt, but they will respawn after a while. I was so invested in talking with you guys that I completely missed the opportunity to talk about him during the first level he showed up in, which is 3-3. And yeah, this guy is nightmare fuel. To a lot of people, at least. So if it tells me there's a 1-up mushroom here, but I might be wrong. In any case, I kinda will be fucked to figure it to find it if it is. Damn it. Okay, one more level to go, and then we'll be able to take on the final level of this world. Now we're only an hour in each, and we've almost completed World 3 already. If you're good at this game, it won't take too long, but otherwise, man, you wish this game would have been able to save. Like, don't criticize this game, because its fans will destroy you. Not an idle threat, by the way. But yeah, if there's one thing you are allowed to complain about in the Mario community about this game, is the fact the NES version did not let you save. Which I know was certainly a decision, especially because around the time this game released, saving in video games was already a thing. So yeah. Like the NES Zelda lets you save for crying out loud. There we go. Okay. Zelda 2 does not. Oh, I see, that's weird. Now this king has been turned into a Kappa, which is a creature from Japanese mythology. Interestingly, they did not censor it, because they used to censor very Japanese things in older games. Really weird. For some reason I always felt like Americanizing everything back in the day. Which I'm glad they kind of stopped doing. Even though all your lives, your save was deleted. Jeez, I heard the game was brutal, but damn. I mean, even Shigeru Miyamoto was like, if Zelda 2 was made today, it would not be the same game. So, yeah, I think he agrees with most people on it. That's just not a very good Zelda game. Okay, and finally the burners are starting to show up. Also these screw platforms, which you can use to very slowly navigate over gaps. Much slower than they auto-scroll, so pretty much useless. Although it becomes a necessity in certain later levels, unless you have very good platforming skills. Anyway, that's it for this airship. Down we go. And here we have Wendy, who shoots magical rings at you. Which I always used to think were life preservers, because of the colors. Also, I took some unnecessary hits there. Sheesh. Anyway, there we go. But that's World 3 complete. Nifty. Anyway. Yes, yes. Oh, thank heavens. Which, by the way, in the GBA version instead says, oh, splendid, splendid. Which is a bit strange. Greetings, the white block contains magic powers that will enable you to defeat your enemies. Okay, she's talking about the white brick blocks which you can throw at your enemies. Anyway, Peach, this, if anything, is not a jewel, it's this damn music box. Get it out of my sight. Anyway. Giant Land. So, Giant Land is a level where a world where everything is, well, giant. Also, sitting in between World 3 and World 5, this one is noticeably easier than World 3 and especially the upcoming World 5. So yeah, make of that what you will. Back in the day, I thought it was a really cool idea for a world. Like, you're your normal size, but everything else is suddenly giant. And I always thought that was really cool. Now, if you fly up, you'll, well, find a thing. Never mind, it has pipes that'll lead to a watery place. Although I always struggle to get out of it for some reason. It was because I was before the most it was, yeah. Which was cool, honestly. Tiny Huge Isle is also like one of my favorite levels in that game, I think. Okay, so if you fly up there in one of the levels, I think exclusively in Super Mario Advance 4, you'll find a P-switch that will give you lots of white coins. But I could be wrong. Oop. Oh, this is also one of those levels which will give you a white toad house should you complete it with enough coins. But again, I tend to struggle with doing that. For no real reason. I really did not want to lose my my super leaf. Because if I was correct, I would have, because if it was not exclusive to the GBA version, I would have been able to fly up there and get some extra coins. But I guess not. But by the way, there was a giant cheap in the Mario 64 Tiny Huge Isle. Or Tiny Huge Island, I'm not sure what it's called. Called Bubba, I think. And he would eat you if you got too close. You got fished. Yep. Okay, so Hammer Bro time. Except no, but it's Ledge Bro. Which are bigger Hammer Bros that will shake the ground with their stomps and will stun you temporarily. They are the worst. And there's also the hammers to contend with. Anyway, item time. Oop. Now, because I would like to clear some space for more important items, I'm getting rid of the clouds, and I am using a star. Honestly though, using a star is justified in this case because of the Sledge Bros. Hello. Okay, so this level has some tricky platforming going on. I could not beat this one as a kid. You can go up here. Huh. Yeah, as a kid I used to struggle with levels. Games have basically not exactly gotten easier over time. Okay, maybe. But honestly, I think the issue is We as people have just gotten more experience at video games. Because I used to struggle with this game, but now I find it incredibly easy. Although this does not go for all Mario games, so your mileage might vary, to be honest. I'm at 44 lives, dang. Up we go. Also, yeah, the game cleverly reuses level exits at times to save on memory. Anyway, for this time. Now featuring Sideways Swamp, still them sideways. And you can skip most of them by going underground. Which, what is the point of them being here again? Granted, they return in later castle levels, and they are much more of a problem to deal with in those. Well, yeah, for some reason there's just an underground section in this level. Jeez, come on, why am I missing these jumps? Anyway, here we are, time to fight Boom Boom. Oh no! He's really easy to defeat, you just have to jump on him 3 times like that, and that's all she wrote. Anyway, use this thing again. Oh, come on, I thought I would have gotten it. So fun fact, the end spade thing, it'll tell you at the end, the rules for it, you can only miss twice. Originally, in all the versions of this game, it said miss twice and you're out, but with your misspelled as Y-O-U-R. Instead of Y-O-U with an apostrophe and R-E. Anyway, yeah, bring a frog suit, you'll be able to go here. Points for me. Boop. Well, there's one coin I missed because I broke a brick block. Oh well. We'll be able to get the rest at least. But yeah, they fixed it in later revisions by just changing the dialogue a little. Interestingly, the final world was referred to as Castle of Koopa, which was the only time in an English game where Bowser was referred to as Koopa. Which is his Japanese name, by the way. Over media, even the booklet for the first Mario game refers to him as Bowser. Really interesting stuff. Speaking of Mario, by the way, this year will be his 40th anniversary. I wonder what Nintendo will be cooking up for that, because they usually do interesting things for the 5-year milestones. So I am quite curious as to what they will do this year. Anyway, hello Mr. Sledge Bro. You may die now. It's another star! Woohoo! Tomorrow World Movie is one. Yeah. I wonder if they'll visit Yoshi's Island in it. I mean, Yoshi will appear. But that's something we know already. And one friend of mine really wants Diddy Kong to appear in it, as a major character. I doubt it, because since when has Diddy Kong been relevant? Although I would love to see him. Also, yeah, you can walk with the frog suit if you're holding something, interestingly. Anyway, give me that super leaf, thank you. But yeah. Also, this level introduces bullseye bills, which reverse once when they miss you. In later games, they would actually home in on you. But yeah, Yoshi's my favorite Mario character. I should really do more things with Yoshi at some point, to be honest. For example, okay. If I complete this game and I don't lose a single life, I'm going to postpone 3D World even further and play SNES Yoshi's Island instead. I'm promising you this because I highly doubt I am going to complete it without losing a life. Anyway, Tanuki Suit. Which turns you into Tanuki Mario, which is distinct from Raccoon Mario, which is what you turn into if you pick up a Super Leaf. Note, it's not called a Tanuki Leaf, but for some reason it gives you the Tanuki Suit in some of the games. Yeah, you can transform into a statue and you won't take damage as long as you're transformed. However, you cannot stay transformed permanently. It's time-based. This build is much shorter, as you can see. I'm almost at the airship already. Oh, finally! We got one of these. Oh, excuse me. Okay, let's take care of this level next. Also, stopping on most things will just kill it outright. With the Tanuki suit. Nifty! Oop. Also, I think that in newer games, even if you hold the run button while jumping on a shell, you will still pick it up. But don't quote me on that. And that will turn all the enemies big again, but I am going to stick with everything being small. It makes me feel better. You may die now, thank you. And there we go. Yeah, so Mario would move with one thing. We did get 3D All-Stars, which was a really weird thing, by the way, last time. On the 35th anniversary. 30th anniversary, we got Super Mario Maker, which was really cool. What else was noteworthy, which we got? Mario Kart Live Home Circuit isn't really noteworthy to me. It was more of a gimmick, really. Oops. I never picked it up either, because I just don't have the living space to set it up in. So Mario 3D All-Stars, yeah. That was a thing on the 35th anniversary. That is a weird case of artificial scarcity going on. Which was really weird. I still managed to pick up a copy myself, mind you. But yeah. For some reason it was only available temporarily, even on digital storefronts, like the eShop. And there was literally no reason for that being the case. Yeah, I also still had mine. A while back I actually replayed Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Sunshine on it. Which, it is nice to be able to play Super Mario Sunshine in widescreen. It looks really nice. And everything, like the HUDs, looks so much clearer as well. Anyway, airship. Oh, you are what looked like a dinosaur. That's adorable. I wanna cuddle you. Although you are not going to stay that way. I just played some Mario 64 and Sunshine on it. Ah, okay, cool. I almost managed to 100% Super Mario 64 on it. I had 118 of the 120 stars. I was missing the coin stars in the 100 coin stars in TikTok Clock and Rainbow Ride. I just got really frustrated with those levels. Like, I almost had them, then I fell and I had to redo the entire thing again. And I was like, nah, I'm good. The DS remake actually makes some of those easier if you play as Yoshi. Because if you eat an enemy of him that drops a lot of coins when you defeat it, and you spit out the egg and hit a different enemy with it, both of those will get the same amount of drop the same amount of coins. 100% also my and got 150 Sunshine Sprites. I did manage to 100% Super Mario Sunshine, which I can also recommend. Do not do that. It's a nightmare collecting all 240 of those blue coins. And it's like nothing that tracks your progress in the game either. Plus, several of those blue coins are only available in certain episodes. It's just an exercise in frustration, and really it's just a completionist's nightmare. Another game that's a completionist's nightmare is Super Mario Odyssey. Just don't 100% that. It's just not fun. I'm ducking here for a bit. There we go. I hate the best of the Go Down Pachinko challenge. Oh, yeah. On my last playthrough, I just skipped it. Anyway, Iggy, he just has a tendency to bounce around a lot. And that's it. But yeah, the Pachinko machine level is the worst. It's literally luck-based. You can barely even use FLUDD to adjust the trajectory. And which way you go tends to be random. So yeah, you could have collected all of the red coins and... Oh look, his feet are talking, look at that. Like you could have collected all the red coins and then missed the shine sprite because it decides to drop you in through the bottom. Here it is, the thief stole the wayside escape to the east side of the sand dunes. Yes, talking about the warp whistle. Anyway, World 5. Skylands. This is where the difficulty really starts to pick up. Also introducing Buster Beetles, which pick up those white blocks we've been seeing. Although I think there's no white blocks in this level. Also nipper plants. They will jump up when you try to jump over them. So be sure to jump high enough or you'll get bitten by them. Cold feet, my bad. Also, I'm never quite sure how to get to that inside portion. No P-switch here. There we go. Not a very long level at all. Oh, the reason I skipped the one break block with the P-switch inside of it in World 2 the Fortress 2 is because it's a way longer route to take. So yeah. Also, there's two ways you can go in this level. You can take the upper path or the lower path. The upper path actually is a cool room, which has a big question block inside of it, but gives you 3 extra lives that appear one by one. Also, you go outside. In this version, in other versions of this game, you instead end up in Stillway Cave. Anyway, here it is. I love how the ground just shakes whenever you hit those big question blocks. I always thought it was really cool. Anyway, we're here. The bottom path is much lower as well, I think. More lives for me, and we're almost maxed out on them. Whoa. Anyway. We have one more row of items left, it seems. Of free item space, I mean. I need to start clearing out some things. Anyway, another Tanuki suit, so that's nice. Okay, pipe time. So that fortress over there is completely optional, and I do not care in the slightest. I am going to do it anyway. Huh, well that doesn't look interesting. Anyway, introducing the Shoe Goomba, which gives us Goomba Shoe, which lets us jump on spiky enemies, and this is the only level in the entire game it appears in. Wahey. Also lets us destroy just about anything with one single hit. Also lets us stand on munchers. Really fun item. It's fun to remember despite the fact it only literally appears in just one level in the entire game. A shame, it's quite cool. Goomba Shoe does however return in whatchamacallit, in Super Mario Maker and Super Mario Maker 2. As well as, interestingly, Mario Kart Tour, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with Booster Course Pass. I want to lose it. And Mario Kart World with certain routes. Like the one from VK Spaceport to Whistle Stop Summit. Although you cannot actually really get inside of them in the Mario Kart games. They just serve as Goombas wearing them as obstacles. Okay, I'm going to use my stars. Because I really need to start clearing those out. Okay, no items in this time around, okay. Another star, I just got rid of my... Come on. Fine then. Yeah. Anything inside? Oh, it's a super leaf. I did not know you could get super leaves on them, interesting. But I already have a Tanuki suit, so I don't need it. Anyway, this thing again. I guess I'll fail with it again. Yep. Seems to always go wrong, and of course the center is once again off-center. Anyway, fortress time. Swamp. By the way, swamps can be defeated in this game. You just need to use your Tanuki suit statue form for that. Okay, how am I supposed to get up here? Oh well. Whatever. I do like the statue form thingy. It's quite cool. It can also take care of rotor discs, as you can see. So, these rotor discs, right? Aside from this game, the only other appearance they had was in, I think, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Oh, as well as its remake, of course. And it's the same Alpha Dream went bankrupt. But apparently, those remakes not doing well wasn't the only reason Alpha Dream went bankrupt. I mean, well, first of all, they learned nothing from releasing the Superstar Saga remake of 3DS and still released the Bowser's Inside Story one on 3DS anyway. But yeah, they were also in a big financial hole which they just couldn't recover from. So yeah. Really unfortunate. Sometimes that just be how it's do. Boo. I'm really starting to run out of item space. But I do think I have plenty of those, you know... I do think I have plenty of those P-Wings now for the rest of the game. I might not even need them if I play my cards right. There's one level where I prefer to use them though. Anyway, the tower. A really interesting level, which is fairly easy and connects the two sides of the map. It's also infinitely replayable, and if you have a P-Wing, there's actually a secret you can access here, where you can get a lot of coins by flying over this here wall thing. You'll just fall if you try to do it You know, you just fall if you try to do it without appealing, because your flight is limited. Also, there's this room with lamps, and it's dark. Really weird and random. Those lamps won't do anything to you, but I always thought they could hurt you as a kid. I'm not sure why I thought that. Anyway, here we are. So now we're up in the clouds. This is where this world starts to get really tricky. Now there are some coins you can get if you go alongside the top, and it's also a bit easier, but I did not. Also waterfalls for some reason. It makes you wonder, is this where water in the Mushroom Kingdom comes from? Although this is not set in the Mushroom Kingdom, it's set in the wider Mushroom world, if I recall correctly. There we go. For some reason I thought they had way more lives than that. Oh, I must have looked at the I must have looked at the coin counter earlier when I said that. When I said I was almost maxed out on lives. There we go. Now, if you don't have a Tanuki suit yet, you can get another one here. Fun! Okay, no, I think that just gives us, I forgot what they are called. I think they just give you a Super Leaf. And I already have the better version of the Super Leaf, so... Well, a better version of Raccoon Mario, but, you know... Potato, potato. Let's get another guaranteed Tanuki suit. At least I think. Huh, no! I know you can get a Tanuki suit on this one, but apparently it's not guaranteed. Interesting. Potato, potato, tomato. Yeah. Oh, look, I got lives again. Now, in Super Mario Advance 4, you get better prizes if you keep winning those. And the spades also turn in different card suits. Yeah, this level. This is the only level to fit your Parabeetles. Fun fact, this game has an unused green Parabeetle which is faster. They're small, tricky moving platforms that bob down a little if you land on them and then fly up. They can still hurt you depending on how you touch them. Be careful. This level is quite infamous because a lot of people find this to be one of the more difficult levels in the game. No, my Tanuki suit! What a shame. I think it is also level where if you collect enough coins you'll get a white mushroom house. I'll grab a fire flower for now. And open the chest. Hey, there's a mushroom. And I'm sad, I miss my Tanuki suit already. Bah. Seriously? Seriously? Okay, give me a mushroom, please. And nothing. Oh look, it's trash! There we go. I threw out the trash. Okay, next level. This one brings back these weird brick block things that jump around, by the way. See? There it is. Also, due to a glitch, that fire flower is always a fire flower even if you're small, but it'll still only turn you big. It's fixed in later versions of the game though. Also, it's faster to go this way than go down that pipe. So I'll go this way. And there we go. Another star. Man, I am good at getting those. Whee! So yeah, second fortress. Which has lava bubbles coming out of the ceiling. In later versions, it's also clearly made to look like lava is on the ceiling. Which is a nifty touch, I would say. Fuck. Well, this is given us a star. Not what I hoped I would get, but I did get it anyway. Hehehe. Big bets. Okay, I'm good. Pipe. Boom, boom. He's about to fly again if we don't jump on him quickly enough, but he is not getting the chance. Man, why am I so hyperactive today? Ah, it's you again, huh? I honestly do not really care about the end spade thingy. Boo. Seriously. Fine, I'll go. Yeah, flip, whatever. Boo. Anyway, let's continue. We're up in more clouds, unsurprisingly. Why? Game, why would you do that to me? Like, how could you do that to me? I know I've made my mistakes, but I had nowhere to run. Hey, run, give me life. There we go. And I'm on a roll when it comes to getting lives today. Okay. Next level. I do want to be Raccoon Mario for this though. Because this level sucks. I may just consider this to be my hardest level in this game. You have too many lives, so I take all of your power-ups. Sheesh. Look, I would at least like to have the level be easier for me, so I don't have to use all of those lives. Uh-oh. Fire jumps are the worst, by the way. Oh dear, that's the first life in a run lost. I don't have a lot of super leaves, I feel like. Oh well. Well, yeah, so I guess we'll just be continuing with Super Mario 3D World then when I finish this. But yeah, I may or may not do a Mario Party thing for my birthday. I'll just have to see. Man, I'm so sweaty today. But, like, you have to excuse me, it's just incredibly hot. Damn it. I forgot there was going to be a second one of them. And I was so close to the pipe when I lost it live as well. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. I want to give you guys A bit of advice if you're playing the NES version, if you're following along at home. If you're playing this on the Switch, on the NES Nintendo Classics app, create a restore point here. There's a glitch where if the airship goes in a certain direction, it'll vanish from the map in between the two map areas, and you'll actually get soft locked. So yeah. Of the King's a bird. I usually manage to complete this level on my first go, but yeah, do keep that in mind. The glitch has however been fixed in the All-Stars version as well as Super Mario Advance 4. Should you have an anchor, you'll actually be able to freeze it in place. So, if the airship lands somewhere favorable, you'll actually be able to, lock it in place and it won't be able to fly away. And thus you will not get that glitch. Why do I like making that noise so much? Also, I've been picking up games for Spooky Month this year. And like I said last week on Saturday, Vanga has so graciously gifted me Reaper because he's just awesome like that. So I'll be playing that on Spooky Month. But yeah. Anything else you will just have to see. Why do I for some reason remember there being an item box there? Well, a question block. Anyway, Roy Cooper. Whenever he lands on the ground, he shakes the ground and creates shockwaves that'll stun you. Also, who boy I lost a life. Okay, let's see. Hopefully it did not get stuck in between in between map screens. Nope, it's there. Let's go again. Boink. Okay, so the problem was I made some foolish mistakes during the level that caused me to take 2 hits and turn me small. Usually when I don't get hit, Roy tends to go fine. But yeah, Roy stuns you whenever you're on the ground when he lands. A trait that's basically been consistent with Roy ever since this game. Except for maybe Super Mario World. Oh, lots of cannonballs. Anyway, we're big this time around, hopefully we'll have more luck. Okay, yeah, it went so well this time around, we didn't even get hit. Man, that's frustrating. We lost 2 lives in, well, one understandable way, but also in one rather stupid way, I must say. Really annoying. Anyway, that's World 5 done.
Wahey!
And this guy has a talking beard. Also his mouth moves a little bit. Riveting. Also there's some glitchy pixels in the bottom left. Greetings, be careful in the ice world. The creatures trapped in the ice will come to life if warmed. Okay, so that's referring to how there's, like, frozen munches, which you can find in the ice sometimes. Falling them out with fireballs will make them able to hurt you once again, so yeah. Also clearing out the stars in my inventory. Also Petuis are introduced here. Which got a lovely little role in a Mario Kart game, namely Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not in Mario Kart Tour, but they do. Interestingly, the course they appear in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Riverside Park, did not have them in Mario Kart Tour. Interestingly, they also appear in Mario Kart World. Anyway, that was a really short level, but yeah, Iceland. Just about everything is slippery here. And there's no geysers either, unlike the real Iceland. Also, the music for this world was reused in Faust Theodore. And aside from that, it's also used in some Mario Party 1 minigames. Two of them, namely Ghost Guess and Pedal Power. Although it's more of a spooky remix of it. Speaking of Mario Party 1, that game just hates you, to be honest. Like, it has some weird things about it that were never repeated again. Most notably, if you lost certain minigames, you would lose coins. Also, yeah, this auto-scroll level. Another level I used to struggle with back in the day. Honestly, otherwise, I don't have much to say about this level. It has these moving cloud platforms. And it's still icy, so I guess they decided to combine Skyland with Iceland. Wahey-ish. Not that Wahey though. Because it's still kinda over. Also, I have this one friend who really loves to use that Gen Alpha brain rot language, and I am not about that. Don't try using it here, I have added it to the banned phrases list. Yes, I am disproportionate like that in my retribution. Why am I even breaking these anyway? I have plenty of... well... I'm not sure what I was trying to say, but I already have a Raccoon Mario, so... it's not like I need a different power-up as long as I can fly. Except maybe a Tanuki suit. Okay, let's keep moving. Fly, 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 fly. Fly, 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 fly. Also, this level is a level that exists. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this one either. Oh, but the level's coming up of which I have a lot to say, though. And some of you might already know which one. Man, I can't seem to get rid of this slimy fruit. Wow, this was not even the level I was thinking about when I said it's a bit level. And now I have nothing much to say about it. Oh, oh my foot. I was turning a light on real quick. Whee! Huh. Now this bit is a bit less scary if you have a Tanuki suit. I don't have one. What was that? Hang on. Oh, for a second I thought my PNG tuber avatar was responding to my soundboard, but no, it wasn't. Wait, really made me go like, you know.
Huh?
Wait, did it just... hang on.
Huh? Huh?
Why is my PNG tuber responding to my soundboard? Weird. Ow. Okay, stop bonking me. Let me check something. Oh, I see. For some reason, it's switched to voice mod as input device on Discord. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Now it should no longer do that, I think. Let's test.
Huh?
Excellent. Okay. Issues been fixed. Am I still perfectly hearable? Okay, you can stop bonking me now. Why are you so angry at me for accidentally not setting a setting correct? I didn't even change it, actually. It did so on its own. So that's weird. Anyway, there we go. Hit the fortress.
Wahey!
It's been a while since we've had a technical difficulties moment. Yeah, I figured. Everything is wrong. Coins. Thank you very much. Okay. We have like 20 minutes left, and I'm not sure how. Oh, okay, you opened up everything I see. Anyway, I have 20 minutes left, and I'm not sure how much of this game I will be able to do in that time. I won't be completing it this date, though. So we will be finishing this next week. And then depending on how much time we have left, I might do something different again, just like last time. And whoop. Okay. We're coming up to the worst level in the game. Kind of. It might be this one, but it could also just be the other one. It's this one. Okay, so this level, I have quite a bit to say about this level. It's a puzzle level, basically. There's several holes in the ceiling, and one of them leads to the exit. The exit, however, is blocked by nipper plants, and we need a Cooper shell in order to clear them out of the way. We could not figure out you did not know you could fly with these shells, so you had to do this. I got very stuck in this level because it constantly loops and I could just not for the life of me beat it. And you can't get up there with a fire flower, and you can't go in there and swipe them with your super leaf, and then, because you would lose a super leaf, and you would still have to break the break block. Still with me so far? Good. Because that was the end of my explanation. And here's the hammer suit, also a new power-up in this game. And it never returned, unfortunately. It lets you throw hammers, although you can't exactly aim them, and it's really awkward. So I miss half of it. Well, that's a shame, because I'm not repeating myself. This one? Ooh. Well, it's both of the coin amounts left. Next time, pay better attention when Brady Daddy is talking, okay?
Huh?
Oh yeah, this level has these jumping cheap cheeps that jump between pools of water. There's also spikes, which I neglected to mention in World 4. They spit out spiked balls and they throw them forwards. Unlike later games, they do not roll yet. Anyway, this is a bit of an underwater maze. It's not really a proper underwater level though. It's more like a cave filled with water. Fucking. Well, at least we're big again. Because awkward limitations means I don't get fire powers. Why am I saying that? Whee! Hello. Okay, you gotta stop throwing your balls at me now, please. That came out wrong. Boop. Anyway, we're at the goal. Also, is it just me, or does the volume of this game tend to fluctuate a little bit? I feel like it's always done that as well. Anyway, Hammer Bros. Ow. Oh, come on, you stupid vomit. So, fun fact. Oops. Originally in Super Mario World, Mario was going to punch Yoshi to make him stick out his tongue. But they changed it to Mario just pointing and saying go, because Nintendo thought that was too cruel. And I agree, because Yoshi is incredibly cute. So, yeah. A lot of people think he actually still does because of how the sprite looks, but no, he doesn't. But yeah, they did have it planned at one point, but they decided, nah, that's kinda mean. Okay, let's actually get rid of this hammer. There. Okay, let's fail at this again. It would have been funny if I actually did it when I said that. Okay, so. By now you might be like... Oh, didn't make Mario touch Yoshi off a cliff. They didn't, that's purely player choice. There's not a single area in the game where you have to, like, Yoshi jump boost at all. Okay, first let's get rid of the cloud, and by now you might be used to seeing a lot of ice levels. Well, what if I told you this level is not an ice level? Well, let's get rid of one of the frog suits, please. Wait, no, this is not the level I was thinking of. Sorry, it was 6-8. I'm confusing it with. This is once again one of these levels where you'll be able to spawn a white mushroom house if you collect enough coins. However, you'll only be able to collect enough coins if you actually have a fire flower, and this level does not give you one. At least I don't think it does. Oh yes, it does. A lot of people think that one of the bridges, I think it's either Butter Bridge or Cheese Bridge, requires you jump off of Yoshi to get to the secret exit. But actually, it's possible to just cape glide under the first goal and reach the secret goal. It is, however, harder to do than jumping off of Yoshi. However, the rest of the level is harder to navigate with Yoshi. So yeah. Oh boo. But yeah, every exit in Super Mario World is reachable without dropping Yoshi into a pit. And no, I don't think player choice counts as like Mario actually doing something. Anyway, let's use this hammer suit, why not? This can even defeat Bruce, and it's even better. Come on. It can defeat Thwomps as well. Although the angles seem to be random. Or at least really difficult to aim. So yeah, it's not super reliable, but it's fun, and the hammers are quite powerful. But have a good rest of this stream, and I'll bonk you. I mean, see you on Sunday. Okay, see you, Tom Mace. Eee. There we go. Also, badly, it can even defeat the final boss with a single hammer. Even Boom Boom isn't safe from it. Would you look at that? Boom Boom didn't even stand a chance. Oh, lovely. Okay, so the thing I said, what if I told you this wasn't a nice level? Yep. It's a hill level. Once again, we have shite like nipple plants and such. Oh. Oh right, I forgot. You cannot slide when you have a hammer suit for some reason, unless you are sliding when you pick up the hammer suit. Of which there's like literally one case in the entire game. Otherwise you just duck, but the shell itself from the hammer suit is actually protective. That is a nice touch, I have to say. Give me those extra lives. Nice. Also, yeah, the level squares on the map go up to 10 here. Nifty stuff. I forgot to bring a frog suit because this is a water level, kinda. It's not a proper underwater level. However, it does have the pipes with currents coming out of them. And it even has the underwater music. So that's nice. Also, in Super Mario Advance 4, and I also think the All-Stars version, there's actually an icy cave background for the Iceland cave levels. So that's also a nice touch, I have to say. There we go. Also, yes, this world has 3 fortresses. The most out of all the worlds. And that's saying something, because we still have 2 worlds to go, including the final one. Excuse me. Now, this is actually the level where Peach's warning comes into play, finally. Excuse me. Interesting. Bibles get thrown around awkwardly when you, yeah. When you're climbing. Huh. But yeah, you see those frozen munches? Yeah, they will fall out if you hit them with a fireball. Quite a doozy, really. Although they are not too hard to avoid either. So maybe when I'm saying it's a doozy, I'm just talking out of my asshole. Oh, what? I still got the fire flower. Show me again. Okay, fine, I'll do the end spade. I still had coins to get anyway. And enough to get an extra life. Nifty. So this fortress introduces conveyor belt. Conveyor belts are fun. By fun, I mean they are annoying. Oh. Well, that sucked. Oh, come on. Why does failing turn me French? Okay, let us boost to the side a bit, and there we go. Door. And there we go, Boom Boom is down.
Wahey!
Man, Boom Boom hasn't stood a single chance today. Okay, here we go. Airship time. Airship time. Time to airship all day. I mean, what? I guess I'll get a fire flower. I'm not exactly worried about platforming. And he's a little seal. Look, Aquo, it's a seal. Yes, I know. He's just like you. I think I'll finish this level and then I'm going to call it for today's stream. And whoop, boink, boink. Whoop. Why am I making these weird onomatopoeia noises thingies? But I'm funny. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Bit of a risky jump, but at least I made it. Jump over. Minds the gap, as they would say in the UK, in the London Underground. Whee! Oh, some question blocks, and I get a super leaf! Nice! Now I can hover after all! Yay! And would you look at that, we're already here. So, Lemmy likes ball. He wants balls which you can bounce on, and he's riding one himself. He's not that difficult, however. And there we go, world 6 completed.
Wahey!
Even right. I'm getting old. Interesting face animation. Your mustache is changing size for some reason. Anyway, that's that. So, yeah. Okay then. So, greetings, I am well. Please retrieve the magic whistle hidden in the darkness at the end of the third world. The third level of the first world, I think you mean. Anyway, I'm just gonna say that this. I'm just going to call it here because honestly, we don't have much time left. So, yeah. That's going to do it for today. So, this Saturday, it's time. We are finally going to start the Mono Water type run of Pokemon Soul Silver, and I am thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be playing that one. Because that's going to be a nostalgia trip for me because my very first Pokemon game was Pokemon Crystal. So yeah. The Johto games might not have aged well, might have some serious flaws like the level curve and such, but I do like the Johto games quite a bit to be honest. We'll continue this next week on Wednesday, and then we will do this Saturday stream on Friday instead because I have a birthday party on next week. Even though my birthday is the week after that, but we're celebrating it next week. And so yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to just about everything else that's still to come. Now get out of my house, and I'll see you all next time.